Google Shopping is a massively overlooked platform for advertising dropshipping products. The reason so many people shy away from Google Shopping ads is because the initial commitment can feel a little overwhelming. With so many videos out there of people making thousands of dollars per day using Facebook or TikTok ads, the $1,000 to $5,000 days that you get with Google Shopping just don't seem that appealing. But what most people don't know is that with Google Shopping ads, the return on ad spend that you're gonna get is actually double to triple what you would typically get on other advertising platforms. All right, you guys, let's get right into this. I'm gonna show you the exact step-by-step process of creating those ads. So make sure you follow along, because then you'll be able to have your Google Shopping ads up and running by the end of this video. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off on the main page right here, and we're gonna go ahead and click the plus sign and create a new campaign. Once in here, what we're gonna do for the objective is we're gonna actually create a campaign without any goals guidance. Now, a lot of people will recommend using a sales objective. This is something I don't typically use from the start, just because you don't have enough data built up for this to properly optimize, but you can always go ahead and experiment with that once you have some more sales. Then down here under campaign type, we're gonna go ahead and select shopping. And then down here, this is where you're gonna see your merchant center linked. Mine's gonna be blacked out here, but you'd have your merchant center linked so that all of your products can actually display within your shopping ads. So just make sure you have that set up over on your merchant center. When we come into here, you'll see your conversion goal for campaign performance. We're gonna hit add goal, and then we wanna do purchases. Now, I've already got my purchase conversion action set up, but if you don't have your purchase conversion action set up, you can actually typically do it right here on the ad, or if you go up here into tools and settings, and then go into conversions, this is where you can go ahead and set up the conversion action, and that's where you're gonna install some code on your website so that all the purchases are actually registered on your advertising platform. Coming down here, we're gonna go ahead and do the standard shopping campaign. Smart shopping is another one of those things that we would wanna do later on once we have some more data. Now, once we get to this part, this is gonna be where we're gonna actually set up the campaign structure. So for the title of the campaign, we wanna indicate what stage within our funnel process this campaign is gonna be for. So since this is an initial test, it's gonna be either broad or cold, indicating that it's at the beginning of the funnel. So we're gonna put the product name, and then we'll put either broad or cold, and then we'll put the break-even ROAS of the product. Once you've got that, you can hit additional settings. You'll see all these different things. Don't even worry about those. We aren't gonna play around with those at this point. Then down here for the bidding and budget, what we're gonna do is we're gonna select manual CPC, and we're gonna deselect enhanced CPC. Now, this is another thing that we will be implementing later on once the product's already got some traction and it's a bit more proven. Down here for the budget, you're gonna see the daily budget. This, I would recommend a minimum of $50, but you can go $100, $150. You just wanna keep in mind that with Google products, it will take several days for you to test the product. So base your budget kind of off of like a 5-day product test. Make sure it's a budget that you're actually willing to allocate for up to 5 days. Down here for campaign priority, we're gonna go ahead and leave that as low. And then under targeting for search network, we're gonna go ahead and deselect that. For devices, just leave that how it is. And then for locations, we're gonna go ahead and enter the location that we wanna target. Now, this is something that's completely up to you. Personally, I'll generally just target the US from the beginning, just because I wanna focus in on one country. It just makes the whole logistics process, especially once you get to the point of ordering bulk inventory, so much easier. So I focus on the US, but let's say if you're in Australia or the UK, maybe you wanna focus on those countries instead. Under location options, we're gonna go ahead and select presence, people in or regularly in, and then also presence, people excluded in your locations. For start date, you'd want to do the following date, so the next day, or if you have a day that you think is going to perform better for a product test, go ahead and select that date. Just make sure it's sometime in the future. For the ad group name, this is where we're going to put information regarding how we set up our campaign. So for this, it's going to be a broad campaign, and it's gonna be no enhancement and no objective. So what that means is it tells us that we didn't do enhanced CPC at this point, and then in the previous step, we didn't do a goals guidance of purchases. Instead, we set it up with no goals guidance. So that's why we put in no objective. Now for the bid strategy, you can start it off a little bit lower at like 60 or 75 cents, but generally I would recommend just starting off at least $1. If you really wanna be a little sneaky, go with 101, and then this will give you a little bit of room algorithm for determining what your average cost per click is going to be. If you start too low, you're going to have to gradually increase your budget, and that can just create a lot of issues for that initial traction of your product launch. So I'd recommend put in $1, and then we go ahead and hit create campaign. Now, once you create your campaign, what we're going to want to do is go ahead and click into the ad groups of that campaign. And then inside the ad groups, you can just go ahead and click into this, and it will take you to the product group category. What we're going to do at this point is we're going to actually separate our products for individual shopping campaigns, because if you don't do this separation, all of the products that you currently have active in Merchant Center will be targeted, as you can see under all products. So to do this, what we're going to do is we're just going to hit the plus sign and add a subdivision. What you're going to want to do here is click product type and then go down to item ID. Now in here, you're going to see all the different item IDs for all the products that you have in your Merchant Center. Go ahead and select the one that you're planning on testing, and that will make it so that it's the only one that's targeted. Once you select it, you can go ahead and hit save without editing bids. And then now you're going to see we now have 2 live product groups. So one is going to be the individual product that we just selected, and the other one is just going to say everything else. Now hit edit and then hit exclude on the everything else products. Now what we have is one single product being targeted within our campaign, and all other products have been excluded. Now that's the general setup of Google Shopping campaigns, and as you can see, they're relatively simple to set up. But that's not the end of running Google Shopping ads. There still is one very important thing that you need to do to ensure you don't waste a ton of money on your ads.
Got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds, because I upload 4 new e-commerce videos every week. And if you're curious about what my life looks like in real life, go to my Instagram at Jonathan Molendijk and tap that follow button to find out.
And this very important thing is search term exclusions and creating negative keyword lists. Since we don't have a bunch of control over the targeting that occurs within Google Shopping campaigns, we instead need to control what Google's actually targeting and having our product show up for. Now to do this, what we would do is we would go to our campaign, we're gonna go ahead and click into it. This will take you into your ad group section. We're gonna go ahead and click into the ad group, and then this will take us to our product group. Now inside the product group, what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and click on keywords. And as you'll see for this campaign, not only do I have a bunch of negative keywords as I was running this product, I also have a general shopping list. So this is a generalized list of a bunch of negative keywords that I want to ensure Google does not target when running my shopping ads. So you're going to create a general shopping list and then start doing exclusions of keywords that aren't applicable or aren't performing well. And to do this, we'd go ahead and click into search terms. Now, once you're into search terms, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and scroll through all the search terms and identify the ones that are not applicable to your product in any way. You're going to also want to go through and identify ones that have spent a lot of money like this and haven't generated any type of a conversion. This will generally depend on the price of your product and how much profit margin you're getting on each sale. If you're only getting a smaller profit margin, you would want to make sure that you're killing these keywords before they reach this amount, because the chances of that keyword becoming profitable just isn't high enough. So what you do is you go through, find all the irrelevant search terms and the ones that are spending too much and aren't profitable, and then you just click on this square and go ahead and add as a negative keyword. Now this is going to add it as a negative exact match keyword, which means that whenever you're running your shopping campaigns, Google's no longer going to target those keywords when people search them on Google. Now, one of the coolest things about Google Ads is as you're running your campaigns, you're going to get more search terms coming through, and Google's going to gradually test all these search terms out. As you see the search terms that are not doing well and the ones that are doing well, you want to take the ones that are doing well and potentially implement them into your product title and your product description to ensure that you're going to start ranking better for those search terms. As for the ones that you're excluding, the great part about this is now they're excluded and there's not going to be any more money wasted on them. So as you run your Google Ads, they're just going to become more and more targeted and more profitable. And this is how you're going to be on your way to generating a consistent income with Google Shopping ads instead of the crazy ups and downs that come with other advertising platforms.